The nurse slammed the file shut so hard the pen rolled off the desk. Her name was Clara Lewis, and for the first time in 12 years of working at St. Augustine Memorial, she didn't feel like a healer. She felt like an accomplice. Her mother was dying 2 floors above. Lung cancer that came quietly, like an old visitor who refuses to leave. The doctors said they could manage it if they started the new treatment early. The problem was, the treatment cost more than she made in a year. She'd begged, borrowed, and maxed out her credit cards. Still not enough. Her mother's voice had grown smaller each day, like the body was folding in on itself. And that morning, as she was changing her scrubs, her mother had said, "I'm proud of you, Clara. Don't lose yourself trying to save me." That sentence would echo in her mind an hour later, when she discovered something she wasn't supposed to see. It started with a mistake, or maybe fate. Clara was updating medication records when she opened the wrong file on the hospital's finance system. At first, she thought she'd clicked the wrong name. Then she noticed the numbers. Bills tripled. Fake medication charges. Patients charged for surgeries that never happened. It wasn't one case. It was dozens. Her heart raced. She scrolled faster. Her hands trembled as she opened more records. The hospital was stealing from insurance companies, millions of dollars, by billing phantom procedures. And some of those patients? They were the same ones she'd cared for. People who could barely afford a blood test. She backed away from the computer, the room spinning. "Oh my God," she whispered. "Everything okay?" Her supervisor, Dr. Howard, stood at the door, his voice calm, too calm. Clara closed the laptop slowly. "Just updating files." "Good. Make sure you lock the system when you're done. Not everyone here understands how delicate our data is." His smile was gentle, but his eyes weren't. When he left, she exhaled. Her hands were sweating. That night, she went home to find her mother coughing, thin shoulders trembling. "Did you eat?" Clara asked, holding her hand. "I tried, but you work too much. You'll burn out." Clara forced a smile. "I'm fine, Mom." But she wasn't fine. The next morning, she called her best friend, Evelyn, a journalist who'd once covered a corruption case at a pharmaceutical firm. "I need your help," Clara said, voice low. "What's wrong?" "I found something at work. They're stealing, charging fake bills. It's bad, Eve." "Do you have proof?" "I can get it, but—" She hesitated. "If I report it, I lose my job. And Mom's treatment. This hospital's the only one willing to take her insurance." Evelyn went silent. "You can't fight for justice and lose your mother. Not like this." "So what do I do? Pretend I didn't see it?" "No," Evelyn said. "You gather evidence, quietly. Then we decide." For a week, Clara lived 2 lives. By day, she smiled, checked vitals, comforted patients. By night, she copied files, took screenshots, documented everything. Each click felt like a heartbeat louder than the last. One evening, she found an email chain between Dr. Howard and the finance head. "If we keep inflating oncology costs, we hit our quarterly targets. Keep the nurses quiet." Her stomach turned. She knew what that meant. Keep them quiet with overtime, bonuses, or threats. She looked at the clock. 11:47 p.m. Her mother would be asleep upstairs. Clara printed the files, stuffed them into her bag, and turned off the lights. As she reached the elevator, she saw him, Dr. Howard, standing in the hallway, phone to his ear. His eyes met hers. "Working late?" he asked. Clara forced a smile. "Just catching up on records." He nodded. "Good, the best nurses always do." The elevator door closed between them, but her chest tightened. She knew that look. He suspected something. That night, she couldn't sleep. Her mother's breathing filled the room like a clock ticking towards something inevitable. Clara stared at the ceiling. If she went public, her mother's treatment could stop. If she stayed silent, she'd be part of a crime. The next morning, Dr. Howard called her into his office. The blinds were closed, the air heavy. "I noticed you've been staying late. Everything all right?" "Yes, sir." He smiled thinly. "Good, because curiosity can be dangerous here." Clara met his gaze. "I just want to help patients." "Then keep doing that," he said. "And nothing else." She left shaking. That evening, Evelyn called. "I sent the documents to a contact at the Daily Herald. If this breaks, it could expose half the board." "You what?" "Clara, this is bigger than you think. We can protect you." "No, Eve. My mother, she's still in that hospital." Evelyn went quiet. "Then we do it your way. What do you want?" "I want time." But time was running out. 2 nights later, Clara arrived for her shift to find her mother's room empty. Panic flooded her. She ran to the nurse's station. "Where's room 214? Where's my mother?" "She's in ICU," another nurse said, eyes full of pity. "She collapsed." Clara sprinted through corridors, heart pounding like a drum. She found her mother pale, surrounded by machines that hissed and beeped. "Mom, it's me." Her mother opened her eyes faintly. "Clara, I'm here. You look scared. I'm just tired. Rest now." But as she sat there, the reality hit her. Even if she exposed the truth, it wouldn't save her mother. It might kill her sooner. The next day, Dr. Howard called her again. "Your mother's condition is expensive." "I know. Insurance won't cover the new therapy unless we, let's say, adjust the paperwork. We can help if you stay quiet." "You're threatening me?" He smiled. "I'm offering survival." Something in her broke. "I'll think about it," she said, leaving the office with a shaking hand over her mouth. That night, she stood by her mother's bedside, whispering through tears. "Mom, what do I do? They're killing people with lies, and they're helping you with the same hands." Her mother's voice was weak. "Save yourself, Clara. Don't lose your light." "I can't lose you. You'll lose both of us if you forget who you are." The next morning, Clara handed in her resignation letter. Dr. Howard looked at it, then at her. "Are you sure? People who walk away from this place rarely walk far." "I'll take my chances," she said. She spent the next week waiting for her mother's next chemo, for Evelyn's call, for courage. Then the story broke. Headline: St. Augustine Memorial accused of massive insurance fraud. Evelyn's byline: screenshots, emails, names, including Dr. Howard's. The hospital went silent. Lawyers stormed in. Phones rang non-stop. Clara sat by her mother's bed, heart trembling. Dr. Howard appeared in the doorway, face pale. "You did this." "I did what nurses are supposed to do," she said. "Protect patients." "You just cost your mother her treatment. You think they'll keep her here?" Clara stood. "I think you should start packing." 2 days later, the board suspended half the management. The state opened an investigation. Whistleblower protections kicked in, but the bills still came. Clara's savings vanished. She took extra shifts at a smaller clinic. Her mother's treatment continued at a public hospital. Slower, harder, but honest. Months later, Evelyn visited. "The stories everywhere. They're calling you a hero." "I didn't want to be one," Clara said softly. "I just didn't want to be a coward." Her mother's condition stabilized. One evening, as Clara was helping her eat, her mother smiled weakly. "You look peaceful." "I feel it," Clara said. "I told you not to lose yourself." I didn't, Clara whispered. I just had to fight to find her again. When she left the hospital that night, the air felt different. The city lights didn't look like judgment anymore. They looked like witnesses. She walked past a newsstand. Her face was on the front page, under the headline, "The Nurse Who Chose Truth Over Power." She folded the paper and smiled sadly. "No, I chose love," she murmured. Love for her mother. Love for the patients who never knew they'd been robbed. Love for the version of herself who refused to look away. If you're still watching, let me ask you something. What would you have done in Clara's place? Would you have kept quiet to save the one you love, or spoken up to save many? Tell me in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this story, and remember, the biggest battles are fought quietly in rooms where no one is watching. A new story drops soon. Stay close, because every parable hides a truth worth finding.